I'm Barbara Davis. I'm the Executive Minister at the First Presbyterian Church in the city of New York, and I'm here to talk to you today about the book of Ezra. Over the past several weeks since the start of this new year in our Wednesday Bible study, we've been talking about the kind of final section of what we refer to as the Deuteronomic historian. Those would be the books of 1st and 2nd Samuel and 1st and 2nd Kings. And 2nd Kings really left us off with the destruction of Jerusalem and the temple in 586 by the Babylonians, and the people from Jerusalem being taken into exile. And so the timeline of Ezra, while both written a little bit later and takes place kind of a couple hundred years after that exile, during the time of the Persian Empire, there are several Persian kings who are mentioned in Ezra. Cyrus, Darius, Xerxes the First, and Xerxes the Second are kind of primary Persian kings that cover this narrative. So we're talking about kind of the early 500s before the Common Era into the later part of the 400s for when the events of Ezra are taking place. And Ezra is sent by Xerxes back to Jerusalem to help rebuild the temple and to help also reinvigorate the religious practices of the people who are returning to Jerusalem, the Israelites. And so Ezra, who is a priest, really plays a key role in that whole endeavor. Just a few words about the book of Ezra, though, before I speak just a bit more about that. The books of Ezra and Nehemiah probably were one book early on, and were probably written by what we've come to call the chronicler. So the community that gave us 1st and 2nd Chronicles also gives us Ezra and Nehemiah. Again, probably a much later author, most likely written in the Persian period at some point. And so when Ezra goes back to Jerusalem to help rebuild the temple and renew the religious practices, Ezra is really going to focus on the Mosaic law, and really is doing a couple of things that are very key when we think of Ezra. One of those is really focusing on Scripture as sacred, so reading the Mosaic law out loud so that people can hear it is very important, and really begins to happen within religious practice for the first time with Ezra. And then also interpreting those words so that they're able to be understood by the people who are hearing them, so that they're not overwhelmed by all the laws and the restrictions, but rather kind of finding new life and new energy in that interpretation. And so actually for us, in some ways, from the Reformed tradition, where preaching the Word is so significant, our interpreting of Scripture, we have some roots back in Ezra in that way. So that is Ezra in 3 minutes. Would love to have you join us for Bible study if you're able to, and we'll look forward to sharing more about Nehemiah next week.